So, Mike, I want to start with you because this issue, particularly on abortion rights, it's sort of another moment here, arguably, where Democrats are sitting there going, hey, why aren't you pushing the envelope on here? Push the envelope there. And now abortion's the latest thing. Let's push the envelope more, Mr. President. Mike, what's the administration say to this? And are they willing to do some things that maybe the courts say no to, simply to show the base they're trying?
Well, Chuck, if there are some in the party who are frustrated with Biden, there are also some here at the White House who are frustrated with their party. They are constantly working against the criticism that they're getting from friendly fire here at a time when they think Democrats should be locking arms and taking what was, yes, a very disappointing judicial ruling, but potentially a political gift for the party to run on, to stay on message, and to hammer that message home relentlessly through November. That's what you heard from the president today, that he is willing to do everything he believes is within his power constitutionally, within the executive branch, to try to defend not just abortion specifically and that right, but the right to privacy more broadly, which has been a career-long focus for this president. But they're also saying that you can't run against, in the case of former President Trump 2 years ago, as somebody who took our Constitution to the breaking point, and then ask this new president, President Biden, to push the envelope in the same direction. This is all about fight. But this is also a White House that feels like, listen, this is not a president who's always had the respect they feel like he deserves from his party. It was at this point in 2010, you'll remember well, Chuck, that Democrats were already talking about dumping Joe Biden from the ticket in 2012 because of President Obama's weakened political standing. And so this is sort of par for the course, but it's part of why we're hearing the president himself is increasingly frustrated and talking with political allies on the phone and saying, listen, as he said publicly today, I should point out, I'm the president you got, and I'm still the best person who can lead this party to victory in 2024, especially if it's Donald Trump, but even if it's not him, in a form of Trumpism that they think is here to stay within the Republican Party.
Let me bring in Anna Greenberg. And Anna, there's some more state polling. There's certainly one public out there that sort of reinforces this trend that we've noticed, but it's a lot of private polling I've heard about recently, a lot of post-primary polling where you see, and post-row polling, where you see the Democratic numbers in general are ticking up. Maybe it's for a specific candidate. Biden's haven't. Is this the elixir the party's been needing, this Roe decision, in a perverse way, Anna?
I think the answer is yes, but definitely in a perverse way. I mean, this is an election that the Republicans wanted to be about Biden, and then more specifically about inflation and immigration. And instead, there's a new issue, and it's not an issue where they have an advantage. And if anything, they're in the distinct minority. And the issue itself is pretty black and white. I mean, it's not, there's not a lot of nuance here, right? And the nuance, to the extent that there are some Republicans out there running who are trying to be more nuanced, is sort of erased by Texas and Oklahoma and Idaho and these ongoing Republican primaries where people are moving farther and farther to the right on this. And so, you not only have injected an issue into this election that's an advantage for Democrats, it's an easy issue to message on. And and that message is broadly appealing to anywhere from 55 to 60% of the voters. And I've even seen, in testing the main Republican attack, I mean, mostly they're trying to avoid talking about it altogether, but to the extent that they are, that sort of Democrats support abortion up to the moment of birth, which of course is absurd, posing that notion that, Democrats favor, abortion up on demand till the 9 months versus Republicans supporting a ban with no exceptions for rape and incest in women's life, you actually win that 60-40. Right. So I think this is a big boost. I mean, I hate to say it because I sound like a hack, but it's a big boost for Democrats. And I'm seeing it in the private polling that I'm doing. And not just that Democrats are doing better, but we asked this question about people's level of motivation or enthusiasm around participating. And there's been a gap between Democrats and Republicans. And what I'm starting to see is that gap is either shrinking or has been eliminated. Now, does it endure? Is it just a reaction to what just happened? And does it last to November? That's an open question. But I certainly see a boost around interest in participating in the election among Democrats and pro-choice voters.
And what do you attribute the fact that Biden hasn't gotten the same boost? Is it simply he's not on the ballot?
He's not on the ballot, for sure. And though I have to say, it has been remarkable to me. You can see it in the numbers that you posted that showed the disconnect between his approval and the generic ballot. I'm seeing that everywhere. where individual Democrats are way overperforming Biden. And it's been true. It was true pre-Roe also. And so I think it's partly because Biden is on the ballot. I think part of it is that a lot of Democrats are pretty discouraged and by Biden and the Biden administration, but they're still voting Democratic, right? So even if they are giving him a somewhat disapprove, they're still voting for a Democrat.
I have a thesis that basically says in the era of polarization, we always sort of underestimate the in party, if you will, meaning that if everybody's starting at a floor of 47%, there's only so much movement we're going to see. Mm-hmm. Is that probably how we should be staring at the midterms, Anna?
Absolutely. I mean, it depends on state by state, right? And it's congressional district by congressional district. And by the way, abortion plays out differently in these different states. It's a different issue in Georgia and Arizona than it is in California and New York. But absolutely. I mean, if you have a poll that has a Democrat getting 42 and it's in a competitive place, they're not going to get 42. They're going to get 47 or 48. And conversely, if Republicans at 43 or 44, that Republicans going to get more than that. I mean, that's people end up going back to their base.
Mike Memoli, does the administration prepared for the fact that many Democrats might say, love you, Mr. President, but don't visit Michigan right now. You don't have to come to Colorado. Are they prepared for that? Or are they going to really want to get involved in these midterms to basically shake this concept that they're not important or the leader of the party?
Well, Chuck, it's interesting that you mentioned Michigan, because just in the last few minutes, I got a statement from Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer's office. You remember the president today said he's hosting sort of a roundtable with governors tomorrow who have been on the front lines of this abortion ruling in trying to protect women's rights here. One of them at the top of the list is Governor Whitmer, and Governor Whitmer is probably, if you look back to 2018, one of those candidates Joe Biden, former vice president, campaigned with. Mm-hmm. She was welcomed into that race when a lot of other national Democrats were not. She has a scheduling conflict tomorrow and can't participate in this roundtable event tomorrow. I think that's a flashing red light. Now, I'm also told this was an event that came together at a very late stage. But if this was a president with a popularity maybe in the 50s or 60s, I think Governor Whitmer would find time on her schedule to join him tomorrow. Listen, the White House is telling me that you're going to see him ramp up his public, whether you call it campaign or just simply domestic advocacy travel, once he gets through this really gauntlet of summits he's had over the last 2 months. And those events might not, though, be with candidates. They might just be Joe Biden on the road doing a town hall meeting, let's say, in a key state or a key district. We have seen him. We've seen these frontline candidates willing to appear with him for infrastructure events early this year, but I think you're going to start seeing that invitation list getting smaller and smaller. But the White House wants to use this fall campaign as a test run for 2024, if not just about message, to show Democrats the other issue they're worried about, his age, that he still has the stamina and the fight to do this for another 4 years.
Anna, what would you advise a candidate to do? I mean, I guess the polite thing to say is you don't want to bring Washington to your state if you don't have to, right? Is that why the president might not be a valuable?
Right. Maybe this is perennial. Did anyone want George Bush in 2006 and campaigning for them? Did anyone want Obama in 2010? Like, this is always true, that no one wants them to come. I would say one difference with Biden versus Obama and Trump is that there's a lot of disappointment around Biden and feeling that he's weak and ineffectual. You don't have the hate the way you saw it with Obama and Trump. So I actually think that it is, in terms of just thinking about this purely, political consultant mode, I think he's less problematic going to these competitive places than Trump or Obama would have been, to be honest with you, because it's less about anger and it's more about disappointment and being concerned about whether or not he's strong, right? That's a very different feeling towards somebody.
That is a fascinating way to take it. I totally agree with how you framed that. Mike Memoli, Anna Greenberg, really appreciate both of you getting us started.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.